Okay, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Apexium webinar series. This is the third webinar series of Apexium, and we are so excited to have you join us today. My name is Constance Jadu, and I'll be your moderator for this session. So, today our webinar series titled AI threats. Sorry, can we go back to, yes, thank you. So our webinar series for this session is titled AI Power Threats and Defenses, Navigating the New Cybersecurity Frontier. And I will be walking us through our agenda for today. Okay, so the first on our list is the welcome and introduction. That is the session we are in now. And then second, we have presentation by our guest speaker. And then the third, we have our interactive Q&A, that's questions and answers. And then lastly, we have our conclusion and closing remark. So I just want to welcome each and every one of us that have joined. We thank you and we are excited to have you here. So before we go on, I just want to give a brief introduction about Apexium Technologies Ltd. So we at Apexium Technologies Ltd, we are committed to provide professional services, that is global professional services in businesses, governments, and individuals to thrive in the increasingly complex world, yes. And we deliver innovative and tailored solutions across key areas, including technology, cybersecurity, and professional training. So our core values include innovation, integration, collaboration, and excellence. And our mission is to empower businesses, governments, and individuals to achieve their goals and complex challenges through innovative solutions and exceptional services. Yes. And our vision is to be a leading global professional services firm recognized for our excellence and customer satisfaction. And our services include technology, cybersecurity training, and physical security services. Yes, so before we dive in, I would like to give a few quick notes for us all. So please, I would like us to keep our microphones muted unless it's time for our questions and answers session. And then if you have a question, you can drop your questions in the chat and then we'll address it. We'll address each and every question during the interactive session. And then lastly, you can feel free to stay engaged and take notes of the session and anything you'll be gaining from today's webinar. And so to move on to the next agenda, we'll be calling on our CEO, that is Mr. Mahmoud Ibrahim Kani. He is the CEO of Apexium Technologies. And I will read a brief bio of Mr. Mahmoud Ibrahim Kani. So I would like us to pay attention as I do so. So Mr. Mahmoud Ibrahim Kani is a seasoned IT specialist, cybersecurity researcher, and CPN certified digital skill trainer. As the CEO of Apexium Technologies Ltd, he leads a global team dedicated to innovative solutions in technology, cybersecurity, and professional training. He is a professional member of the Cybersecurity Experts Association of Nigeria, that is CSEAN, and his expertise includes vulnerabilities assessments, OSINT, that's OSINT, and cloud vulnerabilities assessment. and cloud computing. Mahmoud has trained over 500 individuals, including military personnel and public sector professionals, on advanced cybersecurity protocols. Drawing from his background in artificial intelligence, that is AI, IT support, and educational leadership, he brings a multifaceted and forward-thinking perspective to the cybersecurity industry. So, with much pleasure in my heart, I want us to just welcome our CEO to give us an opening remark for this session. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. Please confirm if you can hear me. Confirm if you can hear me, please.
We can hear you, sir.
All right.
Yes,
Thank
sir,
you
you're
very
audible.
much. So, good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining today's webinar. So, this is a monthly webinar, and this is one of our third series at Hero. So, we are really excited about today's session. We are glad to have you here with us. Our topic for today is AI-powered threats and defenses, navigating the new cybersecurity frontier. So, this is an in-demand topic because when we talk about AI and threats, it's something that we are all curious about. As AI continues to reshape the way we work, protect our digital space, it's crucial that we understand both the risk and the opportunity it brings. We are honored to have Mr. David with us today to walk us through the basics of AI in security, including how it's being used for threat detection, incident response, and security analytics. So sit back, engage, and feel free to drop your questions in the chat. We will have time for Q&A towards the end. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much for that, Mr. Ibrahim. So, moving on to the next agenda, we will be calling on our very special guest speaker to give us his presentation. But before then, I would want to tell us about our guest speaker, which is Mr. David Ehige. Yes, Mr. David Toluwani Ehige. So, Mr. David Ehige is a PhD student in engineering whose research interest focuses on the intersection of artificial intelligence and blockchain security. He previously completed a master's degree in cybersecurity. David has professional certifications from ISC Square and Cisco. Her experiences spanning security operations, that's the SOC, digital forensics, and cyber security research. So he is a broad professional when it comes to security operations, digital forensics, and cyber security. He is also passionate about safeguarding digital assets and infrastructures, and he aims to advance the field through innovative research and knowledge sharing. So I'm going to use this time to welcome our guest speaker to give us his presentation for the next session. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Am I audible?
Good evening. You're audible.
All right, thank you. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. First of all, I'd like to thank the organizers of this event, Apexium Technologies Ltd. Thanks for having me here. It's a pleasure to be with you and to share the knowledge we have. And also, let's thank the audience for joining us today. I hope you're going to learn something good and it's going to be an insightful session with you. All right. Moving to our topic today, our topic is AI-powered threats and defenses, navigating the new cybersecurity frontier. Okay, First of all, let me just okay. A brief has been given about my background. I completed my bachelor's in computer science and my master's degree in cybersecurity. And I'm currently a PhD student. And my research interest lies in between artificial intelligence, blockchain security, and also cybersecurity. So that being said, I have experience in digital forensics, in defense security, also known as SOC. That's for short abbreviation. The full terminology is Security Operations Center. Yeah, and also penetration testing. So with the advent of AI, we've seen in the last decade, there's a rapid increase in AI technology, and it's changing the landscape generally of cybersecurity. So the question to us as cybersecurity professional or enthusiast, some of us that maybe some of us here probably beginners in cybersecurity, and some of us are professionals also. So the question to us here is, what is the future of cybersecurity in the era of AI? So I'm going to be giving more insight on that, and I'm going to be share my perspective and the latest trend and technology on it. All right. Now, I'm sure you let me just give you a brief introduction about or a brief intro for cybersecurity generally, and so we can understand more about it. Now, we have for because I'm sure we have non-cybersecurity professionals here. I mean, people that are from non-tech background. So in order for everyone to carry along, let me just give a brief intro to cybersecurity generally. So what comes to your mind when you hear about cybersecurity? That's a big question. So generally, a layman answer would be hacking. Generally that's what we even when I was while growing up, watching these action movies and Hollywood and the rest. The most interesting parts of those movies are the computer space where you see them hacking, breaking into systems, cracking encrypted codes and stuff like that. So when you cybersecurity, what comes into your mind is hacking, but that's not all about it. That's just one aspect of it. So I'll just run through the basics, right? So cybersecurity generally is is a space. So the cyberspace is what's called digital space. So cybersecurity is the aspect of technology or security that deals with safeguarding infrastructure, digital asset and infrastructure. Now, what do you mean by digital asset and infrastructure? Your information, these are digital assets. Those are your assets personally. And there's what's called PII, that's personally identifiable information. For example, your name, your full name, your date of birth, your location. So this personal information, whereby uh, it's very keen to you. Personally, for you, that is your digital assets, right? And probably now we're in the era of cryptocurrency, Web3. So if you have maybe some cryptocurrencies online, those are also assets. So anything that is of value to you as a woman, so that's what's called digital asset. And for companies and organizations, they have different resources online, right? That's organization level, which I'm not going to go deep into that. So I'm just giving a brief introduction for those that are not in cybersecurity background or beginners, so they can understand what we are talking about today. Now, back to what I was saying about safeguarding digital asset and infrastructure. Now, cybersecurity is divided into various phases, right? We have the core part that that is the offensive security. But in a layman word, we say ethical hacking. That's for the general name that we've all heard of, right? So, or another terminologies we use in cybersecurity is called pen testing, right? So the full meaning is penetration testing. What's offensive security all about? It's all about trying to break into a system. So, for example, you all are on social media. You have your social media accounts. You have your Instagram, your Snapchat, whatever social media you use. You also have accounts, maybe your email, and whatever social accounts you use. Now, unauthorized access to that your social media account is what we call penetration testing, or is just an example of penetration testing, whereby an attacker is trying to gain access, which is called unauthorized access to that uh, to that account of yours. That's just a brief example. I'm trying to give a layman example so everyone can carry that along, right? So breaking into a system whereby you're not authorized, that is called cracking of the system, you understand? So in cybersecurity as professionals, a part of cybersecurity that deals with that is called offensive security, whereby you try to gain access to a system. Now, it's two-faced. The ethical hackers, the difference between ethical hackers and attackers, or called black attackers, is that one seek permission. For example, Apexium Technology offers such services, right? They offer such cybersecurity services. Now, you can hire them, for example, you want to perform security audits and vulnerability assessments for your company. Now, they are going to get access from the company, authorization, whereby, okay, you are permitted to hack into our system to check for security vulnerabilities, right? So now that's the professional aspect of it. Now, the ones that don't seek access before they break to your system, those are called the attackers, black attackers. That's the professional term we use in cybersecurity, right? Or general name hacker, right? Now, that's one part of cybersecurity. We have the other part. It's just like physical martial arts. Like, for example, we have karate, taekwondo. Now, there's the offensive, there's the defensive. So these also come to play in cybersecurity. Now, the defensive part is the part whereby we protect the system, right? So someone is attacking you, we are defending back, right? So this is another aspect of cybersecurity whereby we call defensive security, and also known as Security Operations Center, that's SOC. So this is a part of cybersecurity whereby cybersecurity professionals specialize in the field of defending infrastructures and digital assets. So for example, we have organizations that are specialized in SOC, right? They render SOC services whereby companies, for example, maybe you have a logistic company and you have a website online and you have goods and services online which you render, right? You need the security, right? So you hire this company whereby they come in as a third party, they secure your digital infrastructure and assets. So that's another part of cybersecurity. Now, there are a very interesting part which, in cybersecurity is another part we call digital forensic. So, for example, have you ever imagined your text messages you deleted on your phones or your laptop, with the information you provide, the data you've erased, those data are not permanently deleted. So I'm sure many of you are familiar with these Hollywood movies you see in crime scenes, whereby maybe a criminal committed a cyber crime and deleted all of the evidence, thinking it's safe, right? And they can't trace him or her. Now, the first thing that happens when the legal experts get there, they're going to perform forensic analysis, right? And it starts with the first part of gathering evidence. Right. Now, digital forensic comes in under forensic analysis or forensic science. So digital forensic deals with the digital part of forensics, whereby anything electronic that you've used containing in that crime scene, digital forensic experts will handle that part. So, for example, maybe you got a laptop from the crime scene that the criminal used, or the phone or whatever. Now, the digital forensic analyst or expert, their job is to recover those evidence. So maybe deleted photos, deleted messages, or whatever. So the main thing there, they recover those evidence, even though it has been deleted. You understand? So that's a very interesting part also. And majorly, that part is being used for legal cases. For example, when we gather those evidences, you analyze it, you present it to the court, as evidence against that particular individual, in this case, a criminal, right? So these are just little phases, or these are just specialization in cybersecurity. So when you get cybersecurity, it's not about hacking. You understand? Hacking is just one aspect of it. We have the defensive part I've mentioned, that's the SOC. We have digital forensic. We have threat intelligence. We have a whole lot of specialization on that. Now, back to, I think that's a brief introduction into cybersecurity for the non-cybersecurity individual here. Now, back to our topic today regarding AI. Now, we've seen the advent of AI, especially generative AI, right? For example, ChatGPT, Gemini, Bard, Google Bard, and the rest, right? Now, we've seen that AI now has transformed the landscape of technology. Now, we see that even in regards to cybersecurity, we have attacks that have been performed, sophisticated attacks. For example, you all know the meaning of phishing. For those that are not from cybersecurity background, I would like to give a brief introduction to that. Now, phishing is a type of cyber attack whereby an attacker imposes as a legitimate entity. For example, maybe an attacker can impose as maybe your bank. That's a legal entity, right? That's an entity that you trust, in which you have a service with them, right? So they create probably a mail, they send you an email copying the exact structure format that your bank will usually send to you with some malicious link there. Click this link, maybe they'll tell you, oh, your bank password, you need to reset it, it's been 2 months or whatever, something like that. Then the intention of these attackers now is to get information, your sensitive information, in this case, your password, your bank, your credit card information, and other sensitive information that is personal to you, so they can perform attack based on whatever motive they have, right? Now, this is a type of attack in cybersecurity. It's called phishing attack. And we have various kinds, like the email only is specifically called phishing. We have the SMS, the one that you see those random messages, click this to win so and so. You see those nonsense links there. Those links are phishing links. They contain malware. So that kind of attack is called smishing. We have the one phishing. That one is the one you receive a call or calling from. So maybe for example, your bank, or calling from your I don't know any popular bank. Okay, for those in Nigeria, maybe UBA Bank, right? For those in India here, maybe SBI, for example, and all of people from all over the world, wherever you are connecting with us from, any popular bank there, for example, they tell you, oh, it is. Then they mention your name. It is, for example, let me use myself. This David. Say yes. We're calling from this bank. You need to reset. You need to reset your password or whatever thing. Your credit card is having, or your debit card, whichever one, is having issues. Can you tell us the last digit? Those kind of things. So that kind of attack now is called phishing, right? So we have various categories of this attack. Now, in the advent of AI, because this method these scammers are using is getting popular, whereby people now they safeguard against these things. I mean, if you see a message now telling you to do something, click this link to win. I mean, you just delete it because you know it's scam, it's a lie, except for those that don't have knowledge and they fall for it, right? So now, with the advent of AI, these attackers are getting more smarter, right? So they are using AI to craft more sophisticated phishing attacks, for example, specifically, I'm talking of phishing attacks specifically, whereby it's going to be very hard for you to disbelieve that this is not real, right? So now with this challenge now that we have, AI taking over the world and attackers using it for sophisticated malicious attack, what can we do as cybersecurity professionals? So we're going to be looking into that. And okay, now the dual use reality. Now, what do I mean by dual use reality? AI now is the battle for us here is AI versus AI. AI can be used in offensive security, whereby those are the method that attackers explore, right? And AI can also be used in defensive security for cybersecurity professionals that want to safeguard digital assets, that want to safeguard digital infrastructures. We can also use AI, you understand, to also safeguard our digital asset and infrastructure. So the battle now is AI versus AI. Now we are going to dive deep into that. Now, there's the part I would like to speak on Gen AI enhanced social engineering. Now, social engineering is a cybersecurity term we use for those that are not in cybersecurity, that are from non-cybersecurity background, whereby it's a kind of reconnaissance method whereby the attacker tries to gather information from the targets, right? So it can be in different phase, in different categories. So I'm not going to go deep into that, so I don't deviate much from because of our time, much from our topic today. Now, the advent of generative AI like ChatGPT, right? Now, you can just if you prompt it properly, of course, ChatGPT also has its own, or like say, policies, security policies, whereby it's not going to give you some kind of information. But for malicious attackers, these experts in cybersecurity, they know how to prompt the ChatGPT or generative AI, whereby it's going to compromise its own security policy to give them the desired results. So, for example, we can see a video. I'm sure you've seen something like that online, whereby someone that has nothing to do with another person, they join them together and put them in one video, and it looks real, like real. You can't know it's AI generated, except you use tools to detect that this AI generated, except you're an expert in that field, right? So this is one aspect of this is one of the disadvantage or one of the challenges whereby generative AI is used for enhanced social engineering. And now we have what's called deepfake, also deepfake driven fraud, whereby there was a case of $25 million stolen via deepfake CFO video call. Now, synthetic voices are also called like computer voices. Those voices here, maybe for example, the computer voices, for example, your Siri, Alexa, and stuff like that, right? These are synthetic voices. And now, synthetic voices, it was used to clone a specific personality, whereby that person wired money. You understand? Now that fraud cost about $25 million, and it involved a lot of it's more deeper than just the fake. It's involved a lot of things. For example, fake IDs, that's impersonation, cyber impersonation, and KYC, that's not your customer. These are like technical terms whereby I don't go deep into that because of non-cybersecurity entities here, whereby they may not really understand these things. But in a nutshell, let me break it down to the simplest point. I'm saying this fraud used by deepfake. Now, deepfake is a type of, the type of cyber, let me say, the type of cybersecurity method whereby attackers, use AI to generate fake objects, for example, videos and calls. Now, it's cost about $25 million. So this is one of the disadvantage, let me say, of AI in our era today. Another one is AI assisted intrusion and malware. For example, now this one it falls under the category of defensive security. Now, my question before I spoke about defensive security. How can cybersecurity professionals now use AI to safeguard digital infrastructure? Now, for those of us that don't really know much about cybersecurity, there's what we call IDS. That's intrusion detection system. For example, a perfect example is your antivirus software, right? Not almost everyone here, you have one or two antivirus system. Automatically, if you're using a Windows system, Windows has its own, malware, anti-malware detection system, right? If you're using a MacBook, whatever you're using, right? If you're using Android for mobile devices, you're using iPhone, whatever, they all come with their default malware detection system. Now, that's categorized under IDS, intrusion detection system, whereby based on specific patterns and behaviors of your phone, or in cybersecurity terms, say packets, right? It's going to classify that this specific packet or this specific application is behaving like a malicious application. Malicious application means an application that has, I would say, it has hidden motive, right? Maybe there's a particular part of the code whereby it's going to steal sensitive information, maybe steal your password, steal your username and stuff like that, based on the intention of the attacker, right? So now we have AI assisted intrusion detection system now, whereby AI is used to automate intrusion detection system. Now, and that's based on data set. Now, AI, everything about AI is based on data set, right? Let me say data set is just a cluster of data for those that are not technical in AI and cybersecurity, right? So it's just like saying you're for AI models, you train your models based on data sets. Let me give I'm trying to look for a real life situation. Okay, now I've gotten a perfect example. For example, you want to write an exam, right? You go through the past questions, previous years. Maybe, for example, you want to write your semester examination for those in university or college. Then for this in high school, you have to go through your past questions. You check, okay, previous year, what was the question given 2 years ago, 3 years ago, maybe back to 5 years, right? So now those are data you are getting. You are training your brain. Okay, when you see this question, this is how you answer. Okay, this topic comes out. This topic is not so much, asked. So those things, those information are what's called data. So now in terms of AI model, for example, they are trained on data sets. So we feed AI with data. Based on those data, it discover patterns, right? So from those patterns it discovered, it can classify. Okay, for example, let me give a specific example so I will not be vague. For example, back to phishing, right? For example, phishing email specifically, right? Now, we want to automate your email, for example, your Gmail. We all have email, right? Either Gmail, Yahoo Mail, whatever mail provider you use. Now, let's say we want to create an AI intrusion detection system whereby it classifies your email, that this email now is not from a legitimate source. This one is legitimate. Now, we want to use AI to enhance that detection, right? Now we feed the AI with data sets with previous data. Okay, we feed it with data that are malicious. So we feed the AI with data that this data, when you see this data, this is a malicious email. When you see this is legitimate email. So based on those data, now AI is very deep, right? I don't want to go so much deep into it for those that are not from technical background like AI or computer science. Now, AI is divided into machine learning and deep learning, right? Deep learning is a subset of machine learning. Now, based on the model you are using, either machine learning model or deep learning model, is going to detect patterns from that data set. It's going to think on its own, right? So based on those patterns it has detected, whenever you, for example, a new mail comes in, for example, it uses features, right? There's what's called feature selection and stuff like that in machine learning. Based on the features you fed that data set with, right? Maybe, for example, the email address of the sender, probably, for example, one of the features you've put there is the location. Where is this IP address coming from? Where is the location of this person? So, for example, those features, it uses little features like that to detect, oh, this does not look real, this is fake, this one is real. Do you understand? So that's just a digression. Now back to what I was saying. So one advantage that we can do or can use as cybersecurity professionals here is that we have AI assisted intrusion and detection system, right? So that's for the defense. Now also in SOC, I told you, I spoke earlier about SOC. I said SOC is also the defensive aspect of cybersecurity, whereby it's called Security Operations Center. So in SOC, we have various tools that we use. We have SIEM tools called SIEM, SIEM. That's Security Intrusion and Event Management System, right? So SOC, we have SIEM tools. Now these SIEM tools now, we are using AI-assisted SIEM tools, whereby you don't need to sit down all day now to filter packet yourself. So for those that are not from cybersecurity background, let me give a brief breakdown so you understand what I'm trying to say. Now, I said previously, the two major aspects of cybersecurity we have is the offensive and the defensive. Just like, say, the attacker and the defender, right? So the attacker is the hacker trying to hack into your system, trying to break into your system, right? And we have the defender on the other side, trying to defend your system, trying to make sure that that attack the attacker is trying to carry out is non-successful or extremely difficult, right? Now, for organizations, when it comes to SOC, Security Operations Center, that's the full meaning of SOC, SOC. You may write that down. Now, cybersecurity professionals are there 24/7. previously, right? They are monitoring the system. They are filtering packets, right? They are monitoring those, they are monitoring logs, performing packet filtering, right? To see malicious events that was about to happen. Now it's stressful because you have to employ cybersecurity professionals on shift. Maybe you work 6 to 8, and once this person is clocking out 8 and that one is resumed, because you must be there. You must monitor your client or your customer system 247. We don't want to hear, oh, midnight, there was an attack that happened, our website was crashed. You understand? So now, with the advent of AI has reduced that burden. Right now, we can automate everything. You feed the AI with data sets, right? And every other thing you build your model, your AI model, whereby even you can sit back and just watch, right? You don't need to be so keen on the system 24/7. AI automatically will detect, oh, this packet and this IP address. Maybe, for example, I'm a cloud service provider. For example, I'm here in India, right? And I provide cloud services to customers only in India, right? Now, I'll configure my system whereby any IP address coming from outside India will be blocked automatically, right? So instead of me to sit down and be checking which IP address is coming from outside India, right? We can use AI to automate it, whereby automatically it classifies it. Maybe, for example, there's an IP, there's someone trying to access my cloud service on my website. The IP address is from China, it's from somewhere in Europe, in Africa, wherever, right? Automatically it blocks it out, right? So this is one advantage whereby AI is assisting cybersecurity professionals to also counter AI attacks. That being said, also there's okay, that being said, okay. Okay, now another aspect of AI in cybersecurity, whereby it's good for professionals, is threat intelligence. So there's what's called threat intelligence. I don't know if I mentioned that earlier. It's also an aspect, right, of cybersecurity. Is a specialization. So threat intelligence is all about, for example, the threat intelligence professional or expert, their major aim is to see threats before it happens. They analyze events. So, for example, there was an attack that happened. I don't know if you heard of it I think last year, either early this year or last year. I can't remember clearly. It's happened from I think it was earlier this year, either early this year or late last year, right? It's caused from Microsoft, right? It's called BSOD, Blue Screen of Death, whereby they were trying from the reports so far that we saw, because most of these reports, they are not 100% accurate, but the report that was given so far was that Microsoft was trying to upgrade their system, and probably they didn't do proper testing, because when you perform upgrade, that's under maintenance, right? You have to test it before you launch it, right? Before you launch it to your clients. Now, probably they didn't test properly. We don't know what happened, but it brought up a crash whereby it affected almost all customers using that specific system or using that specific service from Microsoft. It affected airports whereby flights were shut down, and those sophisticated computers which organization was using were shut down. Now, that part is what's called threat intelligence, whereby threat intelligence officers or analysts, they analyze past event and current event to predict the future event. So they look at the previous event, what's kind of attacks have happened in the past to our organizations, what's its current attack, what's the current landscape, how can we prevent further attacks? So now it's a very technical part of cybersecurity. AI now has come in place whereby AI assists threat intelligence professionals, whereby they now use AI. For example, now AI works on data. They feed it with data in the of previous events, current events. Now it can predict. That is called predictive model under AI, right? So they create a predictive model where it predicts the future. Okay, based on this event that has happened in the past and the current events now, we predict this will happen. So they pass that down to the other part of cybersecurity professionals, whereby those ones, they now provide solutions. Okay, let's up our game. Maybe let's add another layer of security to this part of our service. So AI-powered predictive cybersecurity. This part of cybersecurity whereby AI has also helped cybersecurity professionals to defend against attackers. And we have another part again. Okay, I've spoken about autonomous security operation. That's about SOC. That's the defensive part. And I've spoken about deepfake, and I've spoken about let me see, about phishing. All right. So my question now to you, I don't know if we still have time. I don't. Let me see. Okay, I think we still have
Yeah, we still
some
have
time.
5 minutes, in less than 5 minutes. Yeah,
We have what?
5 minutes left.
5 minutes left. Oh, okay. Now my question to you now. Some of you are from non-cybersecurity background, non-technical background, maybe from other field, art, humanities, or you're just a cybersecurity enthusiast, or you're a beginner. Now, what's the future? I have two questions. First of all, what's the future of cybersecurity in this AI era? And where do you see yourself being placed with AI? Now, let me digress a bit. AI is going to take over. In fact, not is going to take over. AI has taken over a lot of jobs. Sorry to say, I don't know many of you that come from a different background, right? Some courses now that you studying is obsolete because artificial intelligence has taken over those things. They can do it perfectly, seamlessly, and it's cost effective for companies. Now, if you are obviously everyone here is a majority cybersecurity enthusiast, you want to come to cybersecurity or still contemplating. Now, where do you see yourself being placed in this advent of AI? In whatever field you are, you may not be in cybersecurity, maybe from any other field, but where do you see yourself in the future being placed? That's one question for you. So you take that home, you think about it, and you work on it. My advice is try to get a skill in whatever field you are in life. You may not be in cybersecurity, you may be in any other field, right? Everyone cannot be in cybersecurity. But for those of you interested in cybersecurity, try to get the knowledge of artificial intelligence, try to take courses online, try to learn about artificial intelligence. Because in this current era that we are, this era of artificial intelligence, it's going so rapidly whereby if you are not updated, you'll be outdated. And the jobs out there now, they're highly competitive. They need professionals with almost all-round knowledge and with deep expertise. So that's going to be my question for you. I hope the session was insightful, and if you have any questions, kindly indicate. Thank you.
Thank you
Thank you
so
very
much,
much for that,
our guest
Mr. David.
speaker.
Yeah, concept.
Yes, I can go on.
So go on, continue. Don't worry.
All right, sir. Okay, so thank you so much for that wonderful and insightful session, our esteemed guest speaker. We really thank you for that. So now on to the next agenda. We are having our questions and answers now. So if you have penned down any question or if you have any question pertaining this session that has just been brought on, you can go ahead and maybe raise your hand or signify that you have the question. Thank you. Okay, so we have Mr. Imran Hassan, and one other person is raising. Okay, so we have two people that are raising up their hands. We have Imran Hassan and Mr. Sadiq Dayub. So we'll be taking from Imran Hassan. So yes, Imran, you can go on.
Please confirm if I'm audible. Hello, please
Yes, you are.
confirm if I'm audible.
Yes, you're
Okay.
audible.
I'll say a very big thank you to Mr. David. This is a very insightful session we had. So regarding the AI that he spoke about, I just have a simple question for people that are non-tech or maybe having the mindset of going into tech. I don't know if you can provide a clear roadmap for career in tech, precisely AI. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you for that question. It has been recorded. So now we'll be moving on to Sadiq. Please, Sadiq, let's have your question now. Please, is Sadiq ready? Okay. Oh, his mic has been disabled. So let's have Aisha. I think Aisha is raising her hand. So yes, Aisha, let's have your question.
Okay, just a moment. Let me unmute this so that okay. Now you should be able to speak, Sadiq and Aisha. You should be able to speak now. Sadiq and Aisha, you can unmute your mic and speak.
Okay, sir. Good afternoon, everyone, and very thank you for Mr. David for this wonderful presentation. Actually, I'm going to say I'm into tech, but I know I'm not particularly in cybersecurity platform. I'm more of software development. So my question is mainly, I think, it's on the offensive attack for the scammers. I would say they use. I did not actually get that part. You say they actually use deep fake, phishing, and all the rest. So I want to see like how do they find a way? You say they breach the ChatGPT to prompt a particular. I don't know what. I don't actually get that part. That's just my question. Very, very sorry. I don't actually get that particular part. That's what I'm saying. The offensive side of in the scammer side, I understand the defensive, but the scammer side, how do they prompt and what what trick did they kind of use? I want to find like an example, possibly like to share to us. Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you, Sadiq, for that question. Okay, so Aisha, can we have your question now?
Hello, can you hear me? Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Thank you for this section, Mr. David, and I really enjoyed it, even though my network was actually keeping me off and on. I just want to ask, with AI making phishing emails almost indistinguishable from real ones, what's the most effective defense strategy right now? I don't know what I'm saying. That's what I want to know. The most effective defense strategy right now. Because I do get lots of them. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for that question, Aisha. Okay, so I think is there anyone else that has a question? If you have a question, you can raise your hand before we proceed to the answering session. Okay, so I think that is all for our questions. So now we'll be moving on to the answering part of this session. So we'll be giving the floor to our guest speaker to, or anyone else, but first of all, our guest speaker to shed more light on our questions. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Constance. I saw Imam Hassan raised a hand, but probably wasn't given the opportunity to speak. Anyways, anyone that has any other question, you can type in the chat. All right. So for the first question, because I can't really recall your question, but there's one I'm seeing here said, with AI making phishing emails almost indistinguishable from real ones, what's the most effective defense strategy now? All right, so it's kind of related to my master's thesis, right? My master's thesis, I work on specifically detecting phishing websites using deep learning. That's deep learning is a subset of machine learning, right? And also AI. So now, actually, this stand as a challenge in cybersecurity, to be very honest, right? It still stands as a challenge. But now, the major companies or the major organizations, four organizations in our cybersecurity, for example, because we have aspect of security whereby, okay, AWS, Amazon, they have their own aspect of, or their own department that deals with security, whereby they deal with those cloud security now, whatever services they provide in, and also Microsoft, Google, and the rest, right? So they have strategies they use. So let me just give one, right? I think I mentioned this earlier while speaking. They also have AI powered system, right? They have AI powered system that they deploy as mechanism to combat also AI attacks. For example, you're using Gmail, right? For example, you're using Gmail, you're using Yahoo Mail, whatever service provider you're using, right? They have their default security, whereby automatically it also scans for phishing. That's why you will see sometimes they will flag some mail for you. It will enter your spam, not inbox directly. Then you are the one that will read it and say, "Oh, this not spam. This is legitimate." That's just an example, right, of the measures they put in place. And of course, attackers still break those defense mechanism, but it's difficult, right? So for you, if you want to enter into this field of cybersecurity, what you need to do is to equip yourself with the right knowledge, right? Get cybersecurity knowledge first of all, right? Then after that, if you want to go into this aspect specifically, get AI knowledge. Someone said it from software background, it will be quite easier um to migrate into cybersecurity if they are interested in that. So get that AI knowledge, get the cybersecurity knowledge, then you can also work with these organizations in that aspect to develop security mechanisms and AI models that will combat AI attacks. And I think, okay, the first question I remember now, someone spoke about what about a guideline for those that are interested in coming to cybersecurity. Okay, first of all, it's a challenge almost everyone faced. I mean, why coming into cybersecurity or why shifting career, right? So you're going to be first, let's say skeptical, right? You're not sure which aspect should I go into. I would suggest a course for everyone to do for beginners. Take a Cisco course, Introduction to Cybersecurity, right? You can type that out. That course will give you a broad knowledge of cybersecurity. After you're done with that course, then you will have a deeper knowledge. Okay, you are going to be sure. I want to go into penetration testing, that's hacking. I want to go into defensive security. That's on the defensive aspect, that's SOC. I want to go into digital forensic, into threats, intelligence. A whole lot of specialization on that cybersecurity. So that course will give you a deeper insights. And if you are very sure of yourself, because some people almost everyone wants to go into hacking because they feel it's interesting, right? Based on the word and what they've seen out there, right? And when they start the journey, they may feel, "Oh, it's not for me. It's so much complex." It's not complex, right? One thing I also say, have the passion. Don't just do it for the money. Oh yeah, cybersecurity is a paying career. Don't just do it for the money, do it for the passion, right? So automatically you'll be rewarded. So that's for the question, for the person that asked about guidelines or pathway to cybersecurity. And I think if I can remember clearly, there's someone that asked about another question about, let me see, about software. There's the guy from software aspects is, I don't know, Constance, if you can remember the question. He said about software aspects. Okay,
Yes,
he said about deepfake,
yes.
He was
right?
talking about the offensive, yeah,
The offensive
how
Yeah,
AI is
how
being
can you
used for
of
prompt
offensive.
chat? Okay, right, thank you. So now there's what's called FraudGPT, right? Just like we have ChatGPT. These are like software engineering generative AI, right? So we have WormGPT, FraudGPT, there are a lot, right? So created, see, there's a part of the internet that we all don't see, or that only cybersecurity professionals or people that are knowledgeable in that aspect know about. This part of the internet is just the surface. Beneath is called dark web. For those that are into cybersecurity, they know. So that part, it's a very, very is a deeper part of internet. All this informations, a lot of secrets have been shared there, a lot of, latest, like say, technology and secrets. So majorly is for cybersecurity professionals. So this one GBT now, you may not, if you check probably, you may not have access to it, right? But we have people in cybersecurity that are from software development background, whereby they've created these tools, whereby you can use these. So you prompt, you create a phishing email, use WormGPT, FraudGPT, all those kind of social engineering tools. You prompt them, and they will give a perfect phishing email, right? Deepfake videos, I mean, they literally have tools for that. So these are already made tools. And if you are very strong in software engineering, you can also create your own tools, right? Write your own software program that will perform these kinds of attack, right? That's why you see the best of hackers. If you watch those movies, they are strong in software development or software engineering, right? They literally write their own scripts themselves. Because, for example, look at this example. You may have your idea, right? Oh, I want to create a tool that, for example, I want to create a tool that create a legitimate application, but disguise beneath, you know, maybe installing some Trojanous there or whatever that gets information from the user, right? Now you have the idea, but you don't know how to implement it. So now you have to go source for tools, for ready-made tools that other people have created, similar to what you have in your mind to perform the attack, right? So for you to be grounded in cybersecurity, you must have a deep knowledge of software engineering. So you can create your own tools. If you have any idea, you will implement that yourself, right? So yeah, definitely that's the deepfake. People use it to clone, for example. Let me just give a let me just give an example. Any prominent figure in your country or your place of residence, or even yourself, people can clone your voice using deepfake, and it's going to sound very real. And yeah, they used to perform attack impersonation and stuff like that. So yeah, it's very real, very, very real, and it's happening. So I think that answered the question of that person asking about deepfake, how it's being used. Yeah. So I don't know if I'm neglecting or forgetting a question. Please kindly remind me. I think those are the ones I can remember, and those are the ones I can see on the chat here.
I
Okay,
wanted to
and
add to
some
the last two questions I
okay.
was asked, but finish
Sorry, what
all
is
the questions before I actually. I wanted to ask, like, add some points to what you just said. Last two questions. One that asks about using AI for offensive, and the last one that asks about how we can detect AI content. Because
your
everywhere now is about AI generated AI. So how can we detect that this particular content is AI generated? That's one of the questions that the
okay,
attendees asked.
I could barely hear you. Your voice is cracking a bit. If you don't mind, can you repeat yourself?
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. It's clearer.
Okay. Actually, mine is not a question. I just wanted to like add to the questions, the answers you gave
Mm.
regarding the last two questions. One was asking about offensive security, how AI is being used in the offensive aspect. But you made mention of using deepfake, and apart from that, the voice cloning. You have platforms like Eleven Labs, Azure AI Speech. You can just record your speech for like seconds, and it will give you exact clone of your voice, and you can be able to say something. Maybe uh, try to like shout for help, but you are trying to send to someone, maybe a family member, and he thinks that yes, this is one of our family member. Eventually, they will fall for that. And lastly, the last question one of them asked is detecting authenticity of a content. So there's a platform that will expose you to AI or not. So I don't want to take the whole time. I'll show you live demo on how you can detect AI-generated content. One thing for sure is to trust your instinct. Just look at the image or look at the text. Let's use the image or video. You can look at the synchronization in the background and ask yourself, is there anything red flag in part of this image that I can be able to know that this is AI generated image? Quite alright, AI is getting sophisticated now. Before you can be able to detect it, but now it's a bit difficult. So we have tools that can help you with that. So that's one of the two, AI or not. Maybe in our next couple of meetings or session, I will show you that live demo. So how they can detect an AI generated image or a video. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Mohammed. And just to add to that, also for those of you that are not in cybersecurity background that may be skeptical about website link, URL links, right? So there's also a platform whereby you can use to detect. I'm trying to write it out on the chat, but it's not going through. Anyways, it's called Virus Total, right? You can just any if you get any message or any email or whatever that you're not so sure of the website, they say click this link to get whatever thing or to access whatever resources. You can just copy, don't open, just copy, place it on, go to that website, place it on it to analyze it, and to tell you if it's malicious, if it's a fake malicious link, or if it's legitimate, right? So we also like just add to what Mr. Mohammed said. We have these tools already that are in place by cybersecurity professionals to help, beginners or to help non-cybersecurity experts to analyze these things. So you don't have to stress about all those things. Tools are already there. You just need to identify them, and whatever you're not sure of, if it's a file, even we have the ones that analyze files, PDF files, but that's one I wanted to download because if it downloads automatically the virus or Trojan or whatever malware installed there is in your system. So that one you just kindly delete if you're not so sure of it, right? But we have tools in place for these things. So that's just to add or buttress the point of what Mr. Mohammed spoke about. So is there another question? I saw someone asking about quantum computer in the chat, if I'm not mistaken. So quantum computers AI based. Yeah, okay. Quantum computers now is let me say is the new era now of computer, whereby research is still going on it currently, right? Research is going on it and it's going to be massive. I mean, it's going to be eventually when it's been, like made public, I mean, for everyone to use, it's going to be very massive. It's going to change the traditional landscape of computing that we know. Because quantum computer is the capability is very, very high, right? So currently research is still going on it, right? But we're hearing that it will break traditional encryption system for those cybersecurity. And that's where we also have quantum computing, right? And quantum encryption and everything. So it comes along with its own advantage and disadvantage. But currently research is going on quantum computers, and hopefully in some years, probably for 10 years time, we'll have a massive breakthrough in it. But yeah, it's real. And we have some that are implemented, but not in the public, just organizations and governments. Yeah. Quantum computing is real, and yeah, it's going to change the landscape of computing generally. So that's to answer the question of that question and based on the features, of course, it's going to integrate AI into it because say it's AI based. The way the world is going now, anything that will come after AI, I was hearing one of my professors speaking at some point. You're like speaking with an FBI agent. Then that's agent or an ex FBI agent told her that the aspect of computing of AI we are going to now is super artificial intelligence. So, it's these things are even artificial intelligence is not, it just got rampant about maybe a decade or two ago. It's been on since 1950 something, you understand? It just now it got so popular, right? So hopefully, and this quantum computing will integrate AI because there's no system now coming to the world, or there's no innovation or technology coming up in the world now that does not have AI integrated into it. You understand? So yeah, quantum computers, hopefully they will, and I'll say 90% sure that AI will be integrated into it. Yeah, so that's answer that question that said about quantum computing. Yeah, so I think we've answered all questions. I don't know if there are any more questions. Can you let us know? Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for that. We thank you for shedding more light and giving us more insights and answering our questions. So now we'll be moving on to the next agenda, which is also the closing remarks. So I'll be calling on our CEO, Mr. Mahmoud Kani, to give us a closing remark and to also let us know about the special offer pack for our users today. Thank you.
Thank you very much for this insightful session. David, we truly appreciate your effort and the time you took to deliver this particular session. So before I proceed with the closing remarks, let's start with the bonus and the offer we have for all our audience here. So currently we're already running cybersecurity and extra hacking training. This is about to launch our third cohort, which will commence on the 19th of September. Currently, we are already in the last piece of the second cohort. So we feel it's ready. It's time now. We
Yes, sir.
open the
Sorry,
registration
sir.
for third cohort.
Hello, sir.
Any problem?
I'm sorry for cutting you. I think you are not audible enough. I don't know if it's from my own end.
Someone should confirm. Is it from your own end
Yes,
or
I
general?
think it's not that.
Okay. Yes, and no. So can you hear me now?
Yeah,
I'm
it's
okay.
better now. It's better, sir.
All right, all right, all right. Thank you for the observation. So before I proceed to the closing remark, this is a special offer we have for all the attendees of this particular meeting. So we are launching our registration for cohort 3, cybersecurity and ethical hacking. As usual, this is a 3-month training, and normally is a 120 for the 3-month session. So for those that are currently in this call, you have a 50% discount that will be offering for all the attendees. So try to agree these discounts, which you have to pay 60 before we commence at 19th of September. So and it's going to be a virtual session throughout. You'll be trained by expert trainers, and some of the things you'll be expecting our benefit of this particular training is going to be live instructor led, and that will expose you to ethical hacking, the forensic and defensive, offensive, all. And you'll be given access to internship opportunities. You will be able to intern with us because currently in this call we have some interns that we would not like to disclose to everyone, but they are part of our product. And you have access to our communities where we have experts. We can learn from them and a couple of other things. And we'll also make sure we get you prepared for a certification exam before the end of your training. And lastly, make sure you are job ready. We optimize your CV and everything is being done. So before now, I can proceed with my closing remark. So thank you all for joining today. It is a truly insightful session on AI-powered threats and defenses. We hope we are leaving with a fresh perspective on how AI is shaping the future of security. A big thank you to our speaker, which is Mr. David, for breaking down such complex topic in a way that's both practical and engaging. At Apexium Technologies, we are committed to driving innovation, building a stronger tech ecosystem across Africa. And conversations like this are a big part of our mission. So if you have any follow-up questions or would like to connect
connect with us, feel free to reach out via email or visit our website at www.apexiumtechnologies.com. So we will also be sharing the webinar recording, resources, and other things in our WhatsApp community channel. Please stay tuned and thank you.
All right, sir. Thank you so much for that wonderful closing remark. And I still want to go on to say on behalf of the entire Apexium Technology Limited team, we thank you for all the attendees attend our webinars for today. Moving forward, I'm introducing and also telling us about our board members, that is our team. We are looking at our screen. So the first person I would be use our CEO, Mahmoud Ibrahim Kani, the CEO of Apexium Technologies Limited. And to the right, we have Mr. Abubakar Yunusa Mohammed, who is the CEO of this company. And moving to the right, sorry, we have Mr. Zakaria Dahiru Musa, who is the CTO of Apexium Technologies. And last but not the least, we have Miss Kate Jim Swatchet, who is the DCS of Apexium Technologies. So we just want to give a very warm appreciation to each and every one of us that have made out time. We thank you for attending the webinar, as I've said, and we look forward to hearing from you. And you can visit us at using our website, which is www.apexiumtechnologies.com, and there is a phone number you can us with, which is on the screen. And then you can reach out to us also via email, and the address is also on the screen. So that being said, we would be coming to the end of our third webinar series, which has been successful. Thanks to everybody here, and a special thank you also to our guest speakers and everybody that have made our time to make this happen. And we appreciate every one of us here, and we look forward to better webinar series with you, and we look forward to many more things with you, and remain blessed and have a nice evening. Thank you.